Happy Wednesday. I am already out on the road. It is my big dude's birthday, and I am heading over to Walmart for a birthday cake. Yes, we like a Walmart birthday cake. I know a lot of people look down on Walmart and their birthday cakes, but I personally think they're delish. So does my family. So I'm going to go get a birthday cake. That's the last thing I needed, and I didn't want to get it too early because one would probably would have eaten it. And I just wanted it to be as fresh as possible. So I'm heading over that way. I was supposed to have gotten an earlier start this morning than I did. It's freaking 11 o'clock, guys. I had my alarm set for 8:30 because I had little pockets of things I needed to do. I wanted to decorate the dining room, start some beans. I needed to prep everything for the pot roast I'm making for tomorrow. I'm going to do it in the crock pot. But I want to have it already cooked for tomorrow. That way we just have to reheat it. I have to finish getting everything ready for little dude that he's going to take to his dad's house because he's leaving today sometime. And the plan was to get up early and get it all done so I can relax. Because when little dude goes off with his dad, I'm always anxious. Y'all know this. He's been doing it for years. You'd think I'd be used to it by now. But it's not that I'm not used to it. It's that little dude still struggles with having to go. So seeing him kind of stress out when I'm asking him, what do you want to take? And what clothes do you want to take? And, you know, having to run down the reminders of, okay, so you got to remember you got to take your vitamins. And you remember you have to take your laxative. Because bonus mom will help. But little dude, I've had to make sure that he understands you can't depend on everybody around you. You know, you're old enough to be able to do a lot of this stuff for yourself, and he's been doing it for a long time. Like I said, we've done it for years. Little dude has been prepping his own meds and mixing his own laxative and stuff for years when he's over there. It's just, as a mom, I need to feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing to keep him, you know, aware. So because I have that anxious energy, I wanted to stay busy and I wanted to have everything done so I could relax, so I wouldn't be rushing around and getting all stressed out and this isn't ready and this isn't ready. The only thing that honestly could cause any anxiety today is just not knowing when his dad is going to pick him up. No tiene horas, and his dad never has a schedule. His dad shows up whenever the heck he wants to show up. I'm hoping he doesn't show up until after big dude's Christmas dinner, birthday dinner, because little dude wants to be a part of it. Of course, it's his brother's birthday, you know. But that's the only thing. I don't know when his dad is gonna come pick him up. So, and I don't want to ask him because a lot can happen. I could catch him in a bad moment, and he could go off and what does it matter? And it's my holiday, and it could go off into that. Or it could trigger something in him and he'd be like, oh, you know what? I'll just go pick him up right now. And then the whole day is shot. You know what I mean? Because big dude is at work. He doesn't get home till around 6 o'clock. And I want to have dinner ready and ready for him to eat, you know, when he comes in. Because he's, you know, hungry when he walks in. So I'm just ready. I want to be ready for everybody to sit and have dinner and have cake. And, you know, just have our little time together before my little dude leaves. But that is what I'm working on today. I should have been up hours ago, guys. I just couldn't. I set the alarm for 8:30. I woke up feeling really bad. It got really cold last night. I had to turn the heat on around 3 in the morning. I couldn't stand it. My bones were hurting so bad under the blankets. It was so freaking cold in the house. Like uncomfortable. Like when you're breathing in cold air, and ew. Breathing in cold air sucks. So, I woke up feeling kind of sinusy and nasally. I sounded still. And just, you know, achy. So I was being lazy and I didn't get up until just now. I threw on some clothes and like, at least the only thing I have to come out and purchase is the cake. That's all I have to come out and purchase. But knowing me walking into a Walmart, I'm going to walk out with a whole bunch of other crap. But I don't have time for it. So, cake, home, put on the beans, get all my spices together for my ground beef, cook the ground beef, roll it up, set up the casserole dish, put it in the fridge, ready for the oven tonight. Then get all of my fixings for my pot roast, get out my crock pot. I'm thinking out loud again, guys, sorry. get that going. I'm not going to get that going till later. But I just want to have everything ready. I need to decorate. Set up the cake and gift little area. And I think that's it. Yeah, I just want to get it done early enough to where I can just be relaxed and not have to worry too much about anything else. It seems like at our happiest moments, and I hate the way this sounds, but it's the truth, how at our happiest moments, the times where we just want to be chilling as a family, we have to accommodate for his dad. And I know what that sounds like. I should be ashamed of myself because so many kids don't have their dads in their lives. I was one of these kids that didn't have their dad in their life. So I shouldn't be that way, and I'm ashamed of myself. It's just, if you guys have been with me a while, you guys understand that he wants to be a dad at his convenience. So it's irksome. It's irksome that we get so used to just doing our thing, you know, and then whenever he feels like popping up, the world has to stop and we have to accommodate. And that's what's happening right now. Like, anyway, I know what I sound like. I sound so horrible. God forgive me for sounding like that, because something could happen to his dad, you know, and you know, I know what I sound like. It's just irksome. It's like either in or out, dude. Okay, in or out, one or the other. But anyway, I'm at Walmart. A little old lady almost backed into me. I didn't even pay attention. But anywho, hopefully I can find a plain, basic white cake with white frosting, no sprinkles. We hate sprinkles. And I want to go to, there is somewhere I want to go to. I think maybe he was hinting at me. We were talking about food yesterday, and he was mentioning that he really has been wanting cortaditos. That's this Mexican pan dulce. It's like a yellow cake with this crackly pink frosting on top. And he was talking about, oh my goodness, I haven't had that in so long. So you know what? I think I may hit a Mexican bakery. There's plenty around here. See if I can find some cortaditas. Yeah. That'll be a little extra surprise for him. But anywho, let me get in here and do my thing. My butt roast is finally defrosted. It only took 2 friggin' days. I had to soak it in water too. But it is defrosted down to the bone. So I'm going to stick this back in the fridge. And I'm about to start the meat enchiladas. So if you've been with me a while, you've seen me make these enchiladas. But in case you haven't, or in case you want to recap without having to go figure out where in my Cook with Melly videos my enchiladas are, here we go. The spices I use are ground comino, black pepper, some beef bouillon just to give it a little bit of a boost, garlic. I use a lot of garlic. I love garlic. I want fresh garlic instead of powdered garlic. I use sometimes less than half an onion, maybe half an onion, depending on how much meat I'm going to use. Today I'm using 1.5 pounds of meat because my big dude loves his enchiladas. And then any meat that's left over after I fill my enchilada pan, I'll just put aside for tacos or scrambling eggs with taco meat is really, really good in the morning. The sauce is going to consist of chili and cheese, which I still have in the fridge, is shredded Monterey Jack. I have my corn tortillas. I prefer the yellow with the beef enchiladas. I like white with chicken enchiladas. But my yellow enchiladas, my oil that I'm going to use to dip. And this is my molcajete, which is what I grind my garlic in. I would have used whole comino, but it's way too far back in the cabinet and I can't climb on the chair to get it. So I'm using the powdered. And then this is the lazy rice I'm going to make. I'm going to make the Vigo Mexican just for time purposes. But I'm going to start this meat. So I cover the entire top of the meat liberally with comino because I want to make sure that it's all seasoned well. I do the same with my pepper. And then, of course, I taste it after, you know, I start cooking it. all the sauce is a can of chili. I prefer Hormel. You can use any brand you like. And we water it down. Rinse out the can with a little bit of water and mix it in here. So I just rinse out the can, get the sides nice and clean, and I dump it in and give it a stir. And this is going to be our sauce. It thickens back up once it's been cooked through. So, we're ready to get the pan ready. So to prep the pan, I smear a little chili on the bottom, and this is why we use some water to thin it out, pa que rinda, so it'll stretch, okay? Just want a little base of chili en rodeo. I'm using Colby Jack. You can use any kind you want, any brand you want. I like the Walmart brand because it's cheaper, and I honestly don't taste no difference between that and Kraft. I'm just going to sprinkle a little cheese down here. And we're going to start rolling up the enchiladas. And we're just going to flash fry them real quick. You just want them soft and workable. Oh. Oh. For some reason, my tortillas are not cooperating. So if this one breaks, we're going to end up just making it like a casserole. If this one breaks, we're making a casserole. We're not rolling. We're making a casserole, guys. I want to cry, guys. I am so upset. My tortillas are dripping. So I'm going to end up having to do like a casserole, which is not what I wanted to do. And I'm having to soak up all the extra oil in the tortillas because I'm not sure what's happening. But I don't want a bunch of grease on my tortillas, so I'm patting them to get some of that oil off. Not sure if the humidity in the air in the last few days affected my food. I'm not sure. But I want to cry. I mean, this is his favorite thing in the whole wide world are my enchiladas. And I can't even make him enchiladas. I'm going to have to do a friggin' casserole. I'm upset. But anywho, we're going to do the same thing. I thought I might be able to roll them. But look, guys, they're so stinking soft. Look at this. So, to keep from throwing the kid out with the bathwater, we're just gonna do what works. So I would have, in a perfect world, stuffed my little tortillas with the meat, but when I end up making a casserole, which I've had to do in the past, this isn't the first time this has happened. It's not. It just sucks when it does. Especially because my big dude don't ever ask for anything. Ever. But this is one of his asks, you know? And for me not to be able to do it for him, it's upsetting. But there's that. So I have the first layer of meat. And then I get some chili. Drizzle it. And we're gonna mix. We're mixing our chili and our meat. Now cheese. And more tortillas. Oh, Mega Man. Had to come outside, guys. The smell of oil from the tortillas and my frustration with how everything was turning out. I needed some air. Whew, yeah, the smell of food. Ugh, well, not food, the smell of oil. Anytime I fry something, anytime I use oil or heat up oil, it makes me nauseous. It's just too strong a smell. But it's beautiful out here. It's not as cold as it was this morning. And I have to repot some pups in one of my aloes. And I figured, may as well do it now. Look at my big boy. This one was all crooked and growing weird. But I repotted it, repositioned it, and it's doing wonderfully. This one was struggling also. A lot of stuff, a lot of its little branches broke off. But here's a pup right here. And then right on the other side is another pup. So it's going to be 2 more individual aloes. And I got the pots ready right here. And I'm just going to busy myself with this while my stomach settles. And it's time to go in and put the enchilada bake in the oven. Are y'all getting ready for Thanksgiving? Have y'all started your side dishes, your pies? Have y'all started marinating? Do y'all have responsibilities on your Thanksgivings? Are you responsible for desserts or what? Are you bartender? How do y'all do Thanksgiving in your neck of the woods? Do you handle all of it all on your own? Or do you go visit family? How do y'all do it? I haven't hosted Thanksgiving since my big dude was itty bitty. And the only reason I did that was because that year his birthday actually fell on Thanksgiving. So I hosted Thanksgiving and birthday. But I haven't since then. My sister has. Well, it was my mom and then my sister. Good roots. Not that I wouldn't. It's just, I haven't. My sister likes to do it. So I let her, and she is such a good cook. There's no way I could make dressing like her. I don't like turkey enough to give all the care that she does to the turkey. So it's her thing. Thanksgiving is her thing. But I hope you guys aren't stressed out about anything. I know sometimes prep will be stressing folks out big time. It does me. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful Thanksgiving Eve. Ay, don't break. Ay, don't break. There's an even teeny tinier one in here. I'm just gonna stick that right in there like so. Okay. That was quick. I thought it was going to take longer than that. But I'm definitely going to sit out here and enjoy this beautiful weather. Let's find them a new little home for now. Uh-oh. So the birthday dinner and the gifts were a hit. Mama did well. We ate and had cake, and little dude did leave with his dad. He left around 8:15. He is coming home Friday because we have the little birthday thing with our friends Saturday, hopefully. Primero Dios, first, God willing. So he was kind of wanting to go, but then not really. But at the end of it all, as long as he came home Friday, he was happy to go. And I am prepping the veggies for the roast. I was going to put the roast on tonight and then just kind of monitor it, and it'll be done at 6 in the morning. But now I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to get up at 6. I'll probably get up at 5 and do it all and leave it cooking. Honestly, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to put it on, but I'm definitely going to put it on. And I was just getting all the veggies cut and ready. The roast is defrosted. So let me show you guys what I have in this crock pot for my pot roast. So in here I have some baby bells that I cut in half. I have some little pearl onions. I have some celery and carrots in here. I didn't do potatoes because my sister makes awesome mashed potatoes, and I thought too many potatoes would be overkill. But I do have some baby bells left and plenty of little pearl onions left for green bean dish that I like to bake. Oh, excuse me. Not necessarily for Thanksgiving, but I like to make green beans with mushrooms and onions, a little tomato sauce. It's really, really yummy. So I'm going to use that extra for that. But all I'm going to do with these veggies is after I sear my seasoned roast, whatever's left on the bottom of the skillet, I'm going to toss the veggies in just for a little while, give it a quick heat through just to get the flavors going. Then I'm going to set my roast in there, and then I'm going to put the veggies all around it. I don't like to set my pot roast on top of my veggies because it squishes them. And then sometimes they get toasty on the bottom, and then when you got to stir and move the roast around and baste, and I ain't trying to do all that. I want my veggies on top. That way when I baste, everything gets the goodies. And I'm going to do some beef broth into the crock pot with it. And that'll be it. I'm going to either do 8 hours on medium or 6 hours on high. Not sure. So I wasn't sure what seasoning I wanted to use on my meat, and I went ahead and did the sniff test. I have the adobo, the Badia adobo, and then I have the Goya sazonado total. I did the sniff test. This one won me over. When I smell this, I automatically think steak, pork, beef. This one, I think fish, chicken, that kind of thing. So we're definitely going to season with this. And I think this is the one I usually use anyway whenever I do this kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make little slices into my roast to make sure that all of my rub goes in. Now I'm going to use this. I'm going to use a little bit of salt. I'm going to use a little bit of pepper. I think I want to put a little chili powder on it and just a teeny tiny little bit of cayenne, just a little. So I'm going to start seasoning this sucker. I could flirt with all the guys, smile at them and bat my eyes, press against them when we dance, make them think they stand a chance, then refuse to see it through. I'm singing Grease and I used the wrong one. I could stay home every night, wait around for Mr. Right, take cold showers every day, and throw my life away on a dream that won't come true. Even season all the fat, 'cause you're going to need that. I got the saddest looking squashes and zucchini from the grocery store, guys. They were so picked over. And I kept thinking if I keep looking through the store, I'll find better produce. And it was pretty picked over. And I just didn't feel like going to another grocery store. So, but one day, guys, one day, I'll have my own zucchini and my own squash from my own little garden. So what I'm going to do is chop these in circles. I'm going to chop these in half and then this away. Chop up some carrots and get these boiling in some chicken broth. And that's pretty much all I do to prep my veggies for my squash casserole that my sissy asks for every year. So I'm stirring my 4 cups of chicken broth. It's just 4 teaspoons and 4 cups of water of the Knorr chicken broth. And I'm going to drop my veggies in. Oh my goodness, I forgot my onion. I forgot my onion. Okay, just 1/4 of an onion in big chunks. See? 1/4 of an onion in big chunks. Gotta have that yum yum flavor. Cook these until they're fork tender. Now I'm going to get into the sauce. Don't you dare throw this away, guys. Don't you dare throw this lusciousness away. You can add some ramen to it. You can add some rice to it. You can add some egg noodles to it. A little bit of cream. And you got yourself something delicious. You can add a little more water and a little more bouillon. And you got the beginnings of a really, really good chicken caldo. Or you can just sip it. It's so good with some crackers. So it's midnight. I'm awake. I've just watched Grease and Ghost, which is still an amazeballs movie. And I figured I'm not going to go to bed anytime soon. So why not sear the beef? Let's sear the beef, guys. I got a hot, dry skillet. I've been letting it heat. And I'm going to take this hunk of meat out. We're going to drop it in this hot skillet and sear all sides. Get that over with, and I'm just going to flip it onto its side like so. You'll see that? You'll see how it's browned. That's all we want. We ain't trying to cook it. We just want to create a little crust. Yeah. Put it in the crock pot, fat side down. Okay. Like so, like that. Now over here to the skillet where we were searing it, we're just going to put in a little bit of our broth. Stir all that up. Loosen up all those little bitty bits. we're going to throw in our veggies. We're not going to cook them all the way through. We just want to heat them up. Okay, we just want to heat them up a little. Right when you start to smell everything, you smell your celery, you smell your mushrooms, you smell your onions. Right when you start to smell everything, you're going to dump it back into your pot. Again, I don't like to put my veggies on the bottom. I just put my stuff around. Okay. Now I pour in some broth. I don't go too deep because it's going to release a lot of liquid, but I also don't want it to burn up on me while I sleep, because this sucker's going all night long. I get it almost to the top. I never cover it entirely. Right about there. Okay. And we're going to put this sucker on low for 8 to 10 hours. So 8.5 hours later, my roast is nice and shreddy. I got my veggies separate. I took most of the drippings out and I'm thickening up a little bit in the crock pot. I'm just going to leave this amount of drippings in the crock pot. I did add a bit of fake gravy. I was going to make homemade gravy, but I'm in pain this morning, guys. So I added a bit of the Heinz beef gravy in with the drippings, and I'm going to put the meat and veggies back in this and seal it up. So it's the next morning, and I just did not have the heart to go and tick off people at the grocery store across the street for some friggin' sour cream. Plus, my body was hurting, and I was sleepy, and I was cold. So in lieu of something tangy, I'm going to use Miracle Whip. I've never done it in my life, but Miracle Whip does have a tang, and that's what I'm after with the sour cream, and it's nice and body full and creamy. So we're going to try a tablespoon of that into the cream of chicken, which I'm going to dilute with some of this awesome little veggie stock. So I'm going to mix it all up, and then we're going to pour it over my veggies that I cooked last night. We're going to top it with some cheese, any cheese of your choice. And then I'm going to make a cracker crumble. I usually use Ritz, but I don't have any, but I have used saltines in the past. I make a crumble with saltines and margarine, butter if you have it, and then put it on top. In the last few minutes in the oven, I set it on broil, and it gets nice and crispy, crunchy on top. So let's get to mixing. Okay, guys, let's hope for the best. I hope this isn't going to be a disaster. I don't want to use too much in case I can taste it. I don't really want to taste Miracle Whip like I taste the sour cream in this dish, if it's not going to taste good. But mix it in there. Gonna dilute it some, like I said, with some of the yum yum veggie broth, just a little, and then I'll check for thickness. I smell the mayo. This may have been a mistake. This may have been a mistake. Oh, I didn't tell y'all. I'm not very happy with my roast either. I cooked it too long. And it got shreddy instead of chunky. I wanted it to stay chunky, but the more I, maneuvered it, the more it kept falling apart. It ended up pretty shredded. I wanted it chunky. I've just not had the best luck cooking these last few days. My enchilada ended up a casserole. My roast turned to pulled pork, basically. Well, the consistency of pulled pork. And let's see if I made a disaster out of this sauce. I can definitely taste the difference between having used Miracle Whip and instead of sour cream, but it's not bad. I think it's going to pair well with the cheese, but will I ever do it again? Hex to the no. Okay, so drizzle the sauce. My sister loves this little dish. I hope she's not too disappointed with the taste of flavor, the slight taste of flavor. We stir it up. Coat all those little vegetables. Top with some cheesy goodness. Okay. Now I'm going to make my cracker crumble. A few crackers in a baggie. Smash them suckers up. Get out your aggression. Get out your frustrations. I'm using the rolling pin to get a finer crumble. Put my crumbs in there. Put my margarine in there. Yoink. Just mash it up. Make a crumble. And now we sprinkle our crumble on top. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You're going to have that crunchy yumminess like you do on mac and cheese, on homemade mac and cheese. You have those little buttered breadcrumbs up top. This is cracker. Oh, you can also use breadcrumbs if you have them. I just don't happen to have, well, I have Italian ones. And that might work on squash, but not for Thanksgiving. But there you go. Now you stick it in the oven at 350 for 20, maybe 30 minutes. Just to get it all bubbly and yummy. And then you click it on broil for 4 or 5 minutes. Just check it so it don't burn. See you in a little bit. And there it is. Bubbly, crunchy, delicious, and ready to wrap up and head on over for Thanksgiving. Till my next go round, I love y'all bunches.